Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, look, let me go ahead and start out by telling you that I apologize if you hear any noise in the background. I'm making this video remotely, so you may hear some machines or something like that in the background. I'll lay a little music over the video, try to cover that up in case that does become a problem. But anyway, guys, it looks like once again the Xbox Series S is being thrown under the bus with false accusations of holding the industry back. Now, there's a Kotaku article that is basically right at this point, Kotaku has turned into a professional troll farm. I'm going to show you something that the Red Dragon is saying on Twitter, which you can see it right here. This is no surprise with the Red Dragon. The Red Dragon is a career Microsoft Xbox hater. So this is absolutely no surprise at all whatsoever. Like I said, once again, the Xbox Series S is once again being thrown under the bus. Now, look, we all know that it is the weakest next generation console, okay? But at this point, when you've got games like Hogwarts Legacy coming to the last generation consoles and to the Switch, there's absolutely no excuse for saying that a particular game is being held back because of the S, because they can't get it to work on the S. Long story short, for those of you who aren't going to stick around and watch the rest of the video, it turns out, according to Larian, the creators of Baldur's Gate 3, it has nothing to do with the Xbox, either the X or the Series S, being inferior to the PlayStation 5. Actually, as it turns out, as you're going to see if you stick around and watch the rest of the video, they actually began developing the Xbox version, both Xboxes, after they created the PlayStation 5 version. Now that makes perfect sense. You know, no one can blame them for that. Look, let's be perfectly honest. There's simply more PlayStation 5 units out there. So of course, if you don't have a dev team working on the PlayStation 5 at the same time you have a dev team working on the Series X and S, then of course, if you have to make a choice on which one you're going to create first, you're going to create the PlayStation 5 first. So some of you may be wondering what I'm talking about here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Red Dragon's tweet, and then we're going to go ahead and read an article. I'm not even going to bother with that Kotaku article. I'll put it at the bottom of this video if some of you want to watch it. I mean, excuse me, I'm sorry. If you want to read it, I'll put it down in the bottom. It's rather funny. But we're going to take a look at the Red Dragon, what he has to say. And then we're going to take a look at a dev, the top dev over at Larian, that actually corrects the Red Dragon on his own Twitter thread. And then we're going to take a look at the article where it goes into more detail as to exactly why the Xbox, both the X and the Series S, is coming later than the PlayStation 5. But let's go ahead and take a look at what the Red Dragon is saying here. Reason why it's not releasing on Xbox is due to technical issues getting the game to run. Likely due to Xbox Series S and what many devs have said about it holding back games and Microsoft forcing it. Wow. So on his tweet, he attaches an official statement by the Larian community manager, which states the following. Hey all, thanks for all the hype and enthusiasm following yesterday's announcement that Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to the PlayStation 5 day and date with PC on August 31st. Xbox players, we've seen your question about when you can expect Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox. We've had an Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3 in the works for some time, but we have run into some technical issues, particularly with split screen co-op. We are still working on an Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3, but we're not yet confident enough to announce it. We don't like announcing anything until we're ready, because we don't want to get people's hopes up until we're sure we can deliver. There's no platform exclusivity preventing us from releasing Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox day and date. We want to make sure that each version lives up to our standards and expectations. Thanks for understanding. Now, the director at Larian went on to respond to the Red Dragon's tweet by stating the following. That statement does not say that. And then he follows up right up under that and says, for clarification, the statement says that Baldur's Gate 3 is in development for Xbox systems. Active development. Now, Larian actually expounded a little bit more on this topic in an article, but before I get into that, I want to tell you something that's kind of funny. There were a couple of people who they responded to the director of publishing at Larian by calling him an Xbox fanboy that was delusional, and he didn't want to face the facts that, you know, basically Xbox was an inferior console. Those people went on to get roasted greatly under the Red Dragons tweet in the comment section. Now I went back, I wanted to get some screenshots because they were a little bit funny, but those people deleted their comment, and it's no surprise that they deleted it because they really got roasted for not knowing who they were responding to. Now, I also was a little bit surprised to see that the Red Dragon still had this up, because clearly he was checked, by the director of publishing at Larian, basically saying, hey, this tweet that you have up is not true, yet he still has it up. So here we have an article that's written by Eurogamer, written by Tom Phillips, and it is an official update. As you can see here, it was updated the same day, I believe it was the exact same day that the Kotaku article was published, only this was released at 8:00 p.m., 8:25 p.m. So this is a follow-up to the statement that the Red Dragon had on his tweet. So we're not going to read the whole article because it's a great article, but it basically rehashes everything that we already know. So we're going to go ahead and go directly to the official update. So let me kind of set the stage first. So after Sony's State of Play, everyone saw Baldur's Gate 3 for the PlayStation, but there was no mention of it coming to the Xbox. Usually when you see the advertisement for the game go up, it says the name of all of the platforms that it's coming out on. So it only said PlayStation 5 and PC. So some people began to question, hey, is it coming to Xbox? Now, as this article states, that's actually not unusual. Like, even if it was coming out on Xbox the exact same day as PlayStation, it's still not unusual. And for example, what PlayStation did, they said, hey, it's coming out on ours and PC. That's not unusual. So that didn't really definitely mean that it was not coming out on the Xbox, but it just caused people to question. So the article goes on to state the following. Some viewers wondered if we'd hear about a version of Baldur's Gate 3 for Microsoft consoles in due course, after Sony's show concluded. After all, it'd be nothing new for console makers to keep mention of their rivals out of such events. However, this isn't the case here. In a statement to Eurogamer today, Larian said that it had not given exclusivity to Sony. It just didn't have an Xbox version in the works. Now, there are going to be those who are going to say that this was done on purpose. And look, I'm not going to say that that's not true. I'm not going to say that it is true. My whole thing is that they are saying that the reason it's coming out later is because we weren't even working on the Xbox version at the same time that we were working on the other versions. It could be true that this was done on purpose as the result of some sort of backroom deal, and now it's just being portrayed as just how things went. Oh, this is just a big coincidence. But that's something that we will never know. But what we do have before us right here is them clearly saying that the fact that there's an Xbox version coming later has absolutely nothing to do with either Xbox being inferior to the PlayStation 5. But according to the very last statement in the Kotaku article, that said, for now, it seems like the $250 Series S might be getting in the way. Man, long gone are the days when journalists reach out to sources to confirm before they start writing. But hey guys, look, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you get some time, share the video because, I've been kind of struggling with YouTube lately. There's been some real hocus pocus stuff going on the channel. Things are there and then they're not there, whatever. But anyway, guys, have a great weekend. And most of all, stay safe.